Hello everyone. First I wanted to tell you all where I've been the past little while. My first year of college just ended last week and I had surgery just 2 days ago, so I'm still recovering from that, which is why my voice might sound just a little bit weird. I had decided to put some extra focus into school since the new YouTube changes did in fact take away my partnership, but I am back now and I will be trying to return to a consistent upload schedule because I've always done this for fun and not for the money, and I just kind of wanted to make that clear. Like, I am back. I want to keep uploading videos regardless of whether I'm partnered or not. If you couldn't tell, I am reading from a script today, and this will be part of my effort to make my videos more consistent as well as more professional. And I hope you guys will enjoy that. My main game will continue to be Overwatch for the time being, although I do confess that other games have caught my eye, including Fortnite and Destiny 2, which Bungie has been making promising strides in the past recent months. I will keep you apprised of my thoughts concerning certain changes to Destiny 2 if I feel they are significant enough to make me return to that game. But today I want to talk about the Overwatch meta, which nobody has quite figured out yet now that Brigitte is in competitive for Season 10. I also wanted to talk about a little bit of future patches and how they might affect the meta and my thoughts on them, but I may need to save that for another video. We'll just have to see how long this video takes here with just the Brigetta changes alone to the meta. The addition of Brigitte into competitive Season 10 has kind of thrown everyone a massive curveball. As you can guess, she's already being called overpowered and a must-pick, just like Ana was back in the day. From what I've seen, comps tend to run her with two other supports, making triple support comps essentially the meta, although Brigitte seems to be more of a DPS light. She needs to deal damage in order to activate her primary heal ability, which is a passive ability. What is truly her source of strength, however, is her ultimate, which in its current state can and should be activated with all 5 other players on a team inside its radius when you aren't even in a team fight, since it can give everyone who stays in the radius a maximum of an extra 150 armor, which lasts until taken away by damage, which can add up to 900 extra health points onto your team. So it isn't even really best activated in combat at the moment, as shown by this clip.
Banana now. They have banana now. Did they always have banana? Am I crazy?
Please just bridge it. We don't need to use it mid-fight. Using it pre-fight is like way better. Nice. Oh, get our Zarya.
What?
Their
Hanzo's still behind us, right? I'm gonna go 1v1 him because I have 350 HP.
That sounds balanced to me. Go ahead.
So it's essentially just an ultimate that gives your team an extra 900 health points, which is double the effectiveness of Symmetra's shield generator, by the way, not to mention the fact that it isn't a destructible placement ability, and that armor HP can actually take more damage than normal health or shield HP can. And it also doesn't have a radius like Symmetra's shield gen does. So it's essentially Brigitte has replaced Symmetra as just better than Symmetra in every single way, because Symmetra originally was an ultimate bot. That's how people used her to get either teleporter or shield gen. And now Brigitte is also just another ultimate bot. You pretty much just play her for the ultimate to get that 900 extra health points. The most effective comps with Brigitte in theory are tank combinations that have been the meta for a while now, so Orisa with Roadhog, or D.Va with Winston, or Reinhardt with Zarya. I've actually seen Reinhardt and Zarya being the most popular right now because the mobile shield on Reinhardt works well with Brigitte, making her and Reinhardt sort of a dynamic duo, which is fitting given the lore. Add in a Zarya or a Roadhog to that mix and you've got a very deadly trio. In terms of other heroes, Lucio and Zenyatta are theoretically the healers of choice along with Brigitte, or any type of triple support composition for that matter, because of the extra damage that Lucio and Zenyatta deal as supports. They're more of like hybrid support DPS heroes, and they're not necessarily primary healers. In practice, I have seen Brigitte run most often with Zenyatta and Mercy, or occasionally only Moira because of the raw healing that Moira can still pump out. With a comp like Reinhardt, Zarya, Brigitte, Mercy, and Zen, the logical choice is a high-damage DPS that can stand safely behind the Reinhardt shield. So Junkrat is a common choice, as is Soldier, with McCree losing some of his effectiveness with all the Brigitte armor in play, because McCree relies on a lot of burst damage with headshots and fanfire, so with all that armor, you can't really cut through that as McCree, so Soldier and Junkrat are usually the better picks. With a Moira and Brigitte as the only supports, a Soldier is the logical choice with a Junkrat because of that extra healing that Soldier provides. And I do believe that full dive is still quite viable with Brigette in the mix. I do see Brigitte receiving changes in the future. By the way, full dive meaning Winston, Diva, Tracer, Genji, with a Lucio and a Brigitte would be the normal composition. You could also trade out the Genji for another support if you really wanted to, like a Zenyatta or a Mercy, to supplement the healing. But realistically, when you have a dive comp with Lucio's speed boost, Brigitte being somewhat slow, her passive ability, meaning you do damage, it activates her heals. So as long as you're doing damage with Brigitte, you're healing your teammates. So if your teammates are all in a clump and they just dive on the same person, and Brigitte gets speed boosted in by Lucio, she can do a lot of healing as well as a lot of damage. So I feel like dive with Brigitte will be very, very powerful, whether it's with 2 DPS or using Brigitte as a functional DPS with, kind of a healer secondary role almost. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but I still do believe that dive is very, very viable, and probably one of the strongest strategies in the game still. Like I said, I do believe we'll be seeing Brigitte changes in the future. I can't really tell you what they'll be because Symmetra is actually getting her second full rework in the coming months, since Brigitte has kind of indirectly made her even more worthless than she already was. If Symmetra wasn't getting reworked, I could tell you with confidence that Brigitte's ultimate would be nerfed, and or Symmetra's ultimate possibly buffed, her shield generator specifically, with Brigitte also possibly receiving a change to make her more of an actual healer instead of an ultimate bot to give your team an extra 900 HP, which is kind of what she is now. With the Symmetra changes already being talked about, I can't say for sure what will happen with Brigitte yet. As for the rest of the hero changes, I will be linking a few fantastic videos in the description that go over Hanzo's new Aerostorm ability, and Genji's Deflect nerf, both of which are fantastic changes in my opinion. Genji's Deflect has always had a much bigger hitbox than it should, making high skill plays such as using McCree's Flashbang just above or to the side of a Genji while he's reflecting so that it doesn't get reflected back at you. It makes that kind of a play more difficult than necessary, so I'm really, really happy about the Genji nerf to Deflect. Or reflect, Scatter Arrow was also widely complained about as just kind of a easy one-shot ability, and so Storm Arrow kind of offers an option which removes the easy one-shot mechanic of Scatter, but still leaves Hanzo with a great higher skill ability for busting shields as well as tanks. Hanzo's projectile speed was also increased, and his Sonic Arrow cooldown, duration, and radius were all reduced, so that Sonic Arrow is less effective but on a better cooldown. Junkrat's projectile size suffered a very small decrease from 0.3 to 0.2, making it only slightly harder to direct impact enemies with his grenades, and his Riptire speed was also reduced from 13 to 12. Both are very, very small nerfs, which aren't enough in my opinion. I do think Junkrat needs more of a nerf. Lucio's wall ride got sweeping changes to make it easier to ride in general, as well as to wall ride around corners, but also reducing its speed a little bit. His boop ability, also no longer consumes ammunition. Tracer's Pulse Bomb ultimate got a damage reduction from 400 to 300, which is a nerf that I didn't really see coming. This will make her less effective against tanks, which is an indirect buff to Moira and Trimple and quad tank compositions, as well as making heroes like Reaper a must-pick to counter these compositions instead of just farming up your Pulse Bomb on Tracer to just toss out Pulse Bombs and stick tanks and blow them all up. Lastly, we have the Symmetra rework, which hasn't been put into PTR or anything yet, so none of this is confirmed, but it's supposedly also being followed up by a Torbjorn rework and a rework of another hero that is to remain a mystery for a little while longer. Apparently, the idea of the rework is to change Symmetra like they did Mercy, making her ultimate an actual cooldown ability. She can now place her teleporter up to 25 meters away, and the entrance is automatically built right in front of her. The teleporter will last a short time, but it can be used at will, and can also be used by abilities like Torbjorn turrets, Diva Bomb, and Junkrat Tire. Either side of the teleporter can be destroyed now, and it will destroy the whole teleporter. Her shield barrier will also become her ultimate and function more like a Mei wall, having nearly infinite size with a static placement and 5,000 total health. We'll have to see how that change works out, but from the sound of it, I am personally not a fan at all. This puts her main kit into teleporting people just 25 meters, and her turrets, which aren't very effective anyway. In my opinion, it doesn't fix her main problem, and I don't see her shield wall ultimate as being very effective, more of just a troll gimmick to set up a bastion behind a 5,000 health shield wall on certain maps. But we will have to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to end out today's video. Please go check out the videos I linked in the description on the few specific changes to Overwatch and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll see you all next time.
One. 60 seconds remaining. Stop the payload. Halt! I recommend moving behind my barrier.
Ich bin da.
You are advised to move behind my barrier. 30 seconds remaining.
We almost got this. Don't screw it up.
Verstanden.
Not
Stop
budging.
the payload. Move up.
This will be your shield. 10 seconds remaining. You're not getting away.
Gemeinsam.
Goodbye. Cease your resistance. Please move behind the barrier. Routing navigation system to defense.
I will watch over you. Dein Schutzengel ist da.
For your own safety, enemies
All
reviving.
systems checked
Prepare
out.
to re-engage. Halt!
Show them. I'm on fire.
Barrier activated. Stop right there. Round 3. Complete.
Greetings.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Very hot. Escorting the payload.
I say. No.
Barrier activated.
Surrender to my will.
Payload moves towards our desired outcome.
Sequence. All systems checked out.
Pardon me.
60 seconds remaining.
Hello there. Excuse me for dropping in. Barrier
Surrender to my will.
Just like old times. That's it. Yeah.
Victory.